Welcome back, everyone, to the SLTV Hearthstone Season 1 LAN Finals. We're on to the the last matches of the tiebreaker. Of course, we have 3 total to do. Orange is on the casting desk with me right now.
Yeah, feels great. This is will be like one of the most important matches. If Dog wins this means he's through to tomorrow, and Kolento and Sivka will have to battle it out for...
Yeah, exactly. And also, one thing to note is that the way the tiebreaker works is if a player has a better score overall in the tiebreaker, in the event of people having a very similar score, the person who will go through is the person with the best score. So if Dog loses, say, with 2 wins, where StarSeries lost with 1 win, Dog will be the one to move. So basically, if Dog gets 2 wins and then loses, he's still over StarSeries, and then it still comes down to Kolento defeating StarSeries to go forward. I mean, it's going to be a little bit difficult. Dog has a very aggressive lineup, and they've already fought, right? Dog versus Kolento, and the first time they met, Dog went 3-0 over Kolento, which was a really crushing victory. But Kolento writes it off as a lot of RNG.
Yeah, that was probably the best interview of yesterday, where that was just a very simple, clean answer to why Kolento lost, all RNG. But yeah, in all honesty, I think that Dog actually might have the edge in this kind of lineup battle. Kolento has a lineup that is really tech towards Druid, and Dog just doesn't have that in his lineup at all, which takes away a big strength from Kolento's lineup.
Yeah, I think Dog is the one who came with the most unexpected lineup. I want to say that StarSeries also brought a very unexpected lineup because he prepared against a metagame that was very different from the one in the event, but Dog just tried to represent what a patron-less metagame would look like the most, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of people expect, like I've talked to several of the pro players, and they expect the metagame coming in after the patron nerf will be a very, very aggressive one with lots of decks like Sue and Hunter coming back that have been oppressed by these patron nerfs.
Exactly. Tempo Mage, Secret Paladin's going to stick around. There's no reason for that to go. So now we see the lineup. There's a Hunter, Paladin, Mage from both players. The Warrior from Kolento was banned, and the Zoo Warlock for Dog is out. I mean, the Zoo here is a bit of a scare deck for Kolento. It typically will beat Tempo Mage, and you don't want to run into that.
Yeah, exactly. We were joking around a little bit in the player launch how Dog doesn't bring any of the most considered powerful decks. So when you play against Dog, you kind of feel like you get a ban in for free.
Right.
And it looks like Kolento takes advantage of exactly that by his ban.
Yeah, so Dog, he's got a really good curve. I mean, it's a mirror match Secret Paladin. Secret Keeper is exceptionally strong here. We have to point out as well that Dog is running the double Divine Favor list, and Kolento, unfortunately for him, is stuck with the Divine Favor in his hand. That's probably just going to sit there and do nothing for the entire game. Yeah,
looking at Dog's turn before he drew the Pilot Shredder, his hand had a total mana cost of 4. Like, you're gonna empty your hand really, really fast as Dog, and that Divine Favor looks very, very dead. But the rest of Kolento's hand looks pretty good.
Yeah, definitely.
With this Must-For battle is a very important card in the matchup. Just not to speak of the one, just the one for Light Justice is really, really good at picking off minions.
Yeah, and funny enough, it curves very nicely into the Cog Hammer that Kolento's got. It will override the Light Justice. It'll give him the ability to deal with something like a Knife Jerkler if it were to come out. Just about anything the Dog plays, Shielded Minibot even would die to it. And it protects one of your 1/1s if that becomes relevant in the future. I like it.
Yeah, and not to speak of, we see Dog's starting hand is really reliant on the double Noble Sacrifice that he has or had in the hand, and well, this Light Justice and Silverhand Recruits are the worst case scenario for that Noble Sacrifice, I'd say.
I think it's alright. Kolento is still going to be able to negotiate with the board a bit, very well with the advantage that he's got. It's going to bring up at least the power of one of his spiders up a little bit when they die.
Yeah, looking at Dog, he has this Shredder now, but
yeah, not exactly.
It's not the best. With the Blessing of Kings as a follow-up, I can see how this works out for him, but it's just a lack of things to do for Dog, I'd say, with drawing this many secrets this early.
Yeah, I feel like the only positive, I guess, about that is that when and if he gets Mysterious Challenger at some point, it'll give him some kind of, he's going to be able to play the Challenger and then replenish the board with a bunch of secrets. This, however, is absolutely amazing. I mean, Redemption with double Shredder on the board.
That Pilot Shredder was probably among the best couple of draws that Dog could draw there. Just because you're kind of pressuring Kolento quite a lot here. He's already down to 20 and there's 8 powers staring down at him. You have to clear one of these piloted shredders and then it just comes back. This is great value for Dog, I'd say.
I mean, could Kolento just opt for a Cog Hammer play? I mean, you're taunting up, which means you're defending yourself, and you're forcing Dog to trade, which means you don't risk triggering Redemption. I think there's definitely some merit to just, maybe playing it a bit slowly with the Cog Hammer, maybe a Hero Power on top.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable. You would need to have a very good read as Kolento that this secret is exactly Redemption if you do that play, because against every other secret you're kind of fine. But then on the other side of the spectrum, I think Kolento's in a spot where he can play around worst case scenario.
At the moment, yeah, I think it's definitely. I mean, he's not in a position where he's gonna die immediately, and if he gets to turn 7, the Doctor Boom gives him a pretty good edge.
Yeah. Just stall it out until you get to turn 7, and he doesn't want to trigger the Redemption, which he has to read out. Really well played by Kolento there to realize that the only thing I could really lose to in this spot is if the secret that Dog set up is Redemption.
Yeah, it's also the most likely thing, right? Like, why would Dog play Noble Sacrifice here, right? Like, it's not just based on the fact that a secret was played. It gives you a little bit of information as to what that is, and the Shredder is just too big to bring back to life. Just giving him like 2 more minions in 1 just doesn't sound like something you want to do.
Absolutely not. Also, just looking at Dog's hand, that 1-2 with Divine Shield and Taunt is incredibly annoying, because this turn he really wanted to
well, that's a
take
good hit,
Blessing
though.
of Kings online. Yeah, this is a great hit for Dog.
Alright, so he's splitting the buffs. Not everything's put into 1 minion here, so 2 4-3s for Kolento on the board. Dog putting down the secrets. He's going to get a good Blessing of Kings next turn, I think. The setting up of Repentance will whiff on the Piloted Shredder. He's probably hoping that Mysterious Challenger falls down. The idea is to play a bit defensively.
Yeah. Just looking for any draws. We've seen earlier that Dog's deck plays stuff like Dr. Boom and even Tyrion. So those are really powerful draws. Oh,
that's really dangerous.
Yes, this will threaten to clear all of Dog's board with the Cog Hammer and all the power on board. I can't imagine Dog walking out of this turn with anything on his board.
I think Kolento is just going to... I mean, the Consecration is just so devastating because the Redemption triggers on a Noble Sacrifice. Sure, the Knife Juggler gets a bit of value. If it kills the 1-1, then that would have changed the way the turn would have panned out, maybe a little bit, but not enough.
Oh, it actually gets on the second hit.
Yeah. Second time's a charm.
For sure. It's still, this Cog Hammer can finish the second Shredder off, and
oh god. It's not that bad though. Dog is going to be able to trade away potentially the Shredder into both of his opponent's minions. Maybe Kolento just ignores this and goes face.
I think from Kolento's perspective, it's a thing you can do. Then again, there's only 1 card in Dog's hand, and you have Dr. Boom coming up, so you don't need to get that aggressive, I don't think.
Alright, so Dog is looking for his own Consecration, but even if he gets it, I mean, that's a... Oh my god.
Speaking of worst possible draws, that is not what we wanted to see right there as for Dog. And now I can't imagine Dr. Boom not coming down. You haven't tested for Repentance yet, but even if that happens, how is Dog going to deal with a 7-1?
I mean, the 7-1, the only upside for Dog is that if he does find Consecration, it is still a very strong play, right? It is a really big upside. But besides that, it doesn't make a big difference. This, however...
This is a good draw. We're going to get 3 draws for Consecration, and if we find it, we have lots of things to replenish the board with after that. But
now that I think of it, I don't think I've seen Consecration in Dog's deck. I think he might be the only guy here who hasn't brought it.
When I know he plays 1, because when I built all of Dog's decks before I was playing against him, and I know that I had 1 Consecration in that deck because I saw it in one of the matches. I don't remember which one.
So you scouted?
Yeah. We were actually in the players' lounge. We had plenty of computers, and we were just sitting next to each other, scouting each other, not wanting to share. Like, we could just simply share with each other because it's very simple to get down the whole deck list if you just watch through the VODs, but you want to make it a bit harder for your opponents.
You want to be nice, but not too nice.
Exactly.
Don't give it away.
So he takes 7 to the face here.
Alright, he gets the Avenge out. What that means basically is that Kolento is going to be able to, is going to be triggering those 1/1s unless he goes full face. And I think there's definitely a good reason to go full face, unless you think you have the advantage just based on the Shredder.
Boombots and Avenge has very interesting interaction. We didn't get to see it there, but actually if, for you viewers at home, if that Avenge would have buffed the Silverhand recruit that got hit by the Boombot, it would actually survive as a 4-1 there, because it only took 2 damage from the Boombot.
Yeah. It's a weird interaction because the death and the like both death rattles trigger kind of at the same time. The secret has a weird mechanic where it triggers in the middle of animations and it kind of puts everything on hold.
Exactly. Normally with death rattles, you know, like first played first results kind of triggers, but with secrets involved, it gets very, very different.
Okay, wait. Dog here has the Blessing of Kings with Coghammer.
That is really strong play. Kolento set up a bunch of secrets, but it's not really anything that interacts with something that's already on board, so...
I'm a little surprised by that. Alright, so if Dog goes to buff it up to 7 health, right? Yeah. Kolento can still wipe it off the board, though, so maybe that's something to be a little wary about if you're Dog. Maybe Mysterious Challenger with the Coghammer is better.
It's actually funny, because this Mysterious Challenger, I'm not sure how many secrets it's gonna bring out of Dog's deck.
2, I think. 3?
Yeah, I think actually just 2. A Competitive Spirit and an Avenge. Like, he has drawn so many secrets this game.
Yeah, we saw a Redemption, we saw the Repentance. It's not secrets that you see too many copies of. Now, this Noble Sacrifice, though, is going to get triggered immediately. Kolento will get off of it a little bit of a perk.
Yeah, Avenge triggers too. It just gives him plenty of power on board to clear whatever Dog can play here, even when it gets buffed by Coghammer.
Oh man. 2 secrets it is. And the Challenger soaks up the damage. Perfect scenario here for Dog. He could win next turn, technically, right? Is there a redemption on this board? That's the question. Is there a redemption?
I don't think that there is. I'm pretty sure that Dog... I might be mistaken here because there have been lots of Secret Paladins and I might mistake Dogs for some other. But I think there's only one redemption in Dog's deck.
Double Divine Favor? Is that what we saw?
No, it was just a little bit of lag. He drew the Hunter Creeper there.
Come on, Doomsayer. Your time has come. You are requested at the casting desk.
Oh, you have been really good at calling the draws, I've heard from Aqua.
That's what I do.
Not this time, though.
Yep. Dog has a Consecration. Would it save him at all? I don't think it would.
It wouldn't, because both Noble Sacrifice have been used. And
exactly.
That is game 1.
Alright, so Kolento ends up taking it. It doesn't mean much, right? The first match, the first game that is mostly kind of the introduction to the series. You can't derive much from it.
Yeah, exactly. It gets much more interesting later on, but winning the Paladin mirror match is definitely something important, because I know that Kolento, for example, has Hunter in his lineup that is really, really good against Paladin in general, and therefore it's really important for him that Dog's Paladin didn't really escape there.
Yeah, didn't escape the potential face-off against the Hunter.
Yeah.
Well, Dog is going to switch to his Mage. I like Arcane Blast. I mean, it's a card that gives you a little bit of guaranteed tempo, even when you're falling behind.
Yeah, just against Hunter, you really just always want at least one answer to Knife Juggler, because even though that is something that is very rarely played on turn 2 as Hunter, you still, if it is dropped on turn 2 and there's no answer for your opponent, you have like already lost the game, basically. So, like, Arcane Blast, Frostbolt, things like that are great in the matchup. Yeah,
some people don't really like the card. They think it's irrelevant, and that you're already playing Frostbolt, Flame Cannon. Like, is that really necessary? But I find that it does a lot of work in places you wouldn't expect, and it helps you catch up where you otherwise wouldn't be able to.
Yeah, like in any other deck, Arcane Blast would be a very bad card, because like the card on its own is not very good, but in Tempo Mage you have so many things that synergize it with just spells. You have Sorcerer's Apprentice, Mana Virm, Flame Waker, all of that, which just puts Arcane Blast a bit over the top. Not to speak of the interaction with the Asher Drakes that we see in Dog's hand.
Kolento's got, I mean, he's got options on every single street right now. Like, he can play, you know, Mad Scientist and then follow it up with either the Bow or Animal Companion, depending on what Dog ends up doing. No minions for Dog, which means the Tempo Mage plan is not working out too well, but this is exactly what Arcane Blast is supposed to do.
Yeah, this is gonna sound a bit weird because that is not what Dog is doing at all, but I like how Kolento is holding onto the Knife Juggler because Knife Juggler Unleash is actually a very powerful combination in this sort of matchup. So therefore you want to save that till a bit later, but as you said, we don't see any creatures like almost at all from Dog, so it is not gonna be as efficient in this game.
Is there a... Yeah, I was gonna say, like, do you Fireball? Is there any merit to using Fireball here to use Flamewaker with Frostbolt on the following turn? That's exactly where I was going.
I think it's the correct play for sure. It's painful to do, but it is correct.
Yeah. Now, Dog, he's got the opportunity to play the Drake and wait for turn 6 to go Flamewaker, Finicky Cloverfield, Frostbolt, but I think those Knife Jugglers demand an immediate answer.
Yeah, exactly. Knife Juggler is one of the scariest minions from Hunter.
Oh my god, Dog is playing it greedy.
I like this because even if you Flamewaker Frostbolt, it's a high possibility that one of the, or rather high possibility that one of the Knife Jugglers still survives and can just trade off into your Flamewaker. And with Flamewaker being like such a powerful card as something with Hunter with this many small minions, you kind of want to guarantee that it sticks to the board.
Right, and what I find good as well here is that if Dog gets, you know, his Flamewaker, Finicky Cloakfield, Frostbolt combination, the follow-up turn he can just wait and play the Unstable Portal, get himself a Spellslinger with maybe even more options. So I think overall Dog is in a position where if this turn works out for him, the aggression that Kolento's been putting on might just lead nowhere.
Yeah, and we see this also. This kind of looks like Kolento believes that there is no answer from Dog because he had such a weak turn last turn. Therefore, he goes to use a lot of his damage potential just on the Azure Drake.
Yeah, Kolento finds more damage though. That's definitely something you've got to be somewhat happy about here, because you can almost just rush down the mage, but is giving him extra mana something you'd ever like to do? Do you just wait?
In this match, normally it's really bad to give your opponent an extra mana crystal in this point of the game, but against Tempo Mage, which doesn't run taunts or heals, it's a fine thing to do. Like to just play the Arcane Golem out early on.
So Kolento's going to play it a bit slower, and I think, I mean, we know he's got explosive traps, right? So what he's doing here, he's got the insurance that no matter what Dog does, this 2-2 will die as soon as he attacks. Uh-oh. That's damage, and a lot of it.
Yeah, this is a race at this point, which I think that Kolento is a pretty huge favorite in, but if you see something like a second Fireball... Oh, he actually already used one. Say, if you see the second Frostbolt picked up from Dog, I can definitely see this, him actually taking this game.
Yeah, what I'm considering here if I'm Dog is, do I want to keep my Flamewaker for the sake of guaranteeing that my Fireball deals 2 more damage, right? That's a really big deal. Is that worth it? Or do I want to sacrifice it? I think he values the extra damage that he gets from Flamewaker. It enables him to race more effectively, but Kolento picking up Beast to enable Kill Command really just gives him the edge here, I think.
This is definitely a turn 2 lethal, but this turn you can potentially, if Kolento decides to do it, just Arcane Golem, Dog and Hero Power and swing with this bow. And next turn, there are very few things that would stop the lethal from Unleash, Kill Command, and Hero Power.
Yeah, Spellslingers could definitely give you like a Holy Light, but they might as well, you know, give a Fireball to your opponent. So it kind of averages out. There's more damage spells than healing spells. So overall, the edge should go to Kolento if the Spellslingers are played, but anything's possible.
I said how Kolento could Arcane Golem this turn, but I like this a tiny bit better. This guarantees that there's minions on board for his Unleash the Hound. And
the only time we will ever see Hemet do anything, but he won't even get played.
Please, Dog, play
what a sad day. This is a marvelous moment. I wish we'd seen the Hemet. And the Snake Trap with absolutely no purpose. This will give Kolento the win here. Nothing the Dog does is going to work out. And Kolento even has the Wind Fury.
Yeah,
because why not?
Arcane Golem Wind Fury, that is some burst if I've ever seen it.
All right, so Dog, he did win against Stansifka, but if he loses against Kolento, there is the possibility, again, we've spoken about that, of a three-way tie, right? 1-1 for each player. Kolento wins and then loses to Stansifka. Everybody gets a 1-1 score. In that case, we would take the win differential between, the matches. Who wins, who loses with the least wins is basically going to be knocked out earlier than the other ones. And there's also the matter of the previous games that were played. So assuming there's also a tie there, assuming, say Dog ends up, Kolento ends up beating Dog 3-1, yeah. Dog would still be ahead of Kolento technically just because of the fact that Dog beat him 3-0 in the first phase.
Yeah, it's really interesting, and just that we have these, it's possible that these situations occur tells how close of a finals this StarLadder series is. All the players are just very, very close in skill level, and it really, really shows.
I think I can't really give the edge to anyone, right? Like, I want to say that right now Kolento is hugely favored just because he gets 3 attempts with this mage to fight off Dog's entire lineup, and I think overall the deck should be able to pick up a win. So Kolento is very favored, but his start is not as good necessarily as Dog's. If he doesn't pick up another minion here, this could start looking a little worse.
Yeah, one of the... of course, you got a mirror match right here off the bat against Tempo Mage versus Tempo Mage, which could go either way.
Oh my god.
That's 6 drops from Unstable Portal are among the absolute most powerful things you can get from it.
Dara Drake?
Works really well.
That is completely insane. Now, Dog knows there is a mirror entity there, right? So he can just feed, say, Blood Mage Thanos and use a Ping, Mana Worm, and then Arcane Blast with a Blood Mage coin. That's a guaranteed trade. And then you feed your opponent 2 Mana Worms, really no big deal.
You're fine with that. Sure, Mana Worm is a powerful card in Tempo Mage, but I mean, definitely, there are way more scary things that one could get duplicate.
Yeah, Kolento's happy. I mean, I get to play 2-1 drops with my 2 Arcane Missiles on turn 4.
Yeah.
Count me in.
Okay, so let me go back to what I was saying earlier about how this match is going.
Go.
So there's a mirror match first, which go either way. Then you have Dog has Hunter left, which Tempo Mage is not that great against. But then you have Paladin left for Dog, and that is one of the matchups where Tempo Mage is known to really, really prey on that matchup. Interesting,
because some people say I wouldn't say the exact opposite, but some people think that the matchup is sometimes favored depending on how the deck is built. It very much matters whether or not the Paladin is more mid-range, a little more aggressive with more 1-drops. The way Kolento's deck is built, though, I think Dog really has a good chance with his Tempo Mage.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yep.
We see the 6-6 come down for Dog, and looks like Kolento would have to fireball this, but actually, just fireball Arcane Missiles is not a bad turn at all here for Kolento.
Oh, Kolento with the Mana Worm spam. Would you ever just go Mana Worm, Mana Worm, Mana Worm, Arcane Missiles, Arcane Missiles?
That seems very risky to me.
Okay. I like it just because it's funny. But
yeah, of course. Oh, that is so unlucky for Kolento. I feel a little bit bad for him now, but...
What on earth just happened here?
Those odds, let me tell you, there are not a very high percentage chance of that happening if you...
No, very slim chances of that occurring. But he still gets another wave of Arcane Missiles. They might redeem themselves. I mean, he does get 2 Mana Worms buffed up. He curves into Dr. Boom, and he does have the Archmage as a follow-up if needed. So we'll see where that leads him.
Yeah.
Redemption achieved.
Yeah. Still leaving the Dasher Drake on board. There is a lot of things in Dog's hand that benefits of that, and even an undamaged one too.
Yeah, I feel like Dog is counting his damage here. He's like, I have 8 from the Frostbolt. I've got an extra 7 from Fireball. Can I just push face? At 26 health, I don't think so. So playing it safely here, using the Arcane Blast, doubling the spell damage from the Azure Drake.
Even though this has turned out in the early turns very good for Dog, he doesn't have a lot of late game power going forward, and we see both Dr. Boom and Archmage Antonidas. So if Dog can't close this game out in 2 or 3 turns, I think Kolento is just gonna take control over this game.
Yeah, Dog's, having the Fireball and the double Frostbolt is definitely what's going, I think, to allow him to steal this game, even if he doesn't have big minions. So that's going to be instrumental in his win here if he gets it.
Yeah, if he didn't have all this burn, this would just be... Kolento would just take this game, but no. That is so much damage represented.
Now Kolento has to decide how he wants to use these Mana Worms the most effectively. I mean, killing the Azure Drake mitigates a lot of the damage that comes from the burn. So there's definitely a good argument for that. But you could also just kill the Clockwork and threaten, more damage coming in.
Good read by Kolento. Once again, your opponent went very aggressive with that Azure Drake that could just clear one of the scary Mana Worms, actually, because if there was a spell on the other side of the table, those Mana Worms would be able to trade way more efficiently. But he realizes that something is up if Dog just goes face in that kind of situation, so he wants to clear the biggest possible minion.
Yeah, so Dog here is calculating his damage. He's got 12 from hand and an extra 6 that he's pulling off right now, which means he's got a total of 18. He needs to get just a little bit more to finish off the game. I mean, Fireball Ping on the Dr. Boom is very safe, but maybe he doesn't feel like he needs to remove it and keep the Fireball for the face.
Yeah, really good point there. The Fireball very likely has to go upstairs by the looks of it. But it also looks like by pinging that Boobot, Dog is kind of telling us that he is reliant on having his minions just push for a tiny bit more of damage. Yeah. But I'm not sure if he's going to be able to, seeing that Dr. Boom is...
Would you free? I feel like freezing Dr. Boom might work. It's just that you're guaranteed to lose your two ones, right? Like, you're going to lose one to the Boombot, lose the other one to a ping. The Mana Worm might even die, and that should, like, if Mana Worm dies, you're pretty much, I wouldn't say out of it, but it's going to be very difficult.
Yeah, especially since he used one of his Frostbolt. That is free less burst damage that you now have.
Yeah, I mean, Kolento here, I mean, he's got a lot of minions, and Dog has no way to wipe them off the board. And Sorcerer's Apprentice, if you have two of them with Fireballs from Archmage, that's a lot of fun. At the very least, a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah. That will be a lot of Fireballs in one turn. If I were Kolento here, I would... you are tempted to just play the Archmage Antonidas, but there's always also the possibility of just pinging one of the minions to make the chances higher of the Boombot hitting the Mana Worm.
I think that might be lethal. So 6, 7, 8, 9. He's buffing the Mana Worm twice, and then he can flip it around. I mean, you start with the flip, right? You start with the flip, so 3.
Yeah, you can also Sorcerer's Apprentice, and that way you can go for a ping too. Wait. You
can go Sorcerer's Apprentice, Time Rewind to Sorcerer's. I mean, using Reversing Switch doesn't make sense because you're buffing the Mana Worm prior to that. So.
No, wait. This is... I'm pretty sure this is lethal in one way or another. You Sorcerer's Apprentice, you reversing switch the Mana Worm.
But it doesn't matter because it's gonna get buffed first.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so you reversing switch whatever. Yeah. Then you Fireball Frostbolt, and then you end this with Time Rewinding the Sorcerer's Apprentice. And that is 9 plus...
So he's got 9 plus...
9 plus
6 damage.
Plus up.
Is he one off?
No, he got a ping too. He can ping too.
He can ping. He's got it.
Yeah.
Dog has it.
That is exactly lethal.
Does Dog see it? Dog has to Fireball Frostbolt right now. 9. Come on, Dog. Don't list Mytho.
You have to do it. Oh.
Dog.
Time is running out.
For the face, Dog. Do it. Whoa!
Oh, no.
This looks like a... Oh! So Dog missed lethal, but I think he's still in this, right? He missed lethal, but he's clearing the board, and I think he's still ahead. But he did miss lethal.
I'm trying to question myself if we... No, we did not miss lethal.
We did not.
It was lethal.
Yeah, it was lethal. It definitely was lethal.
Oh my god.
So Kolento, I think Dog is recalculating. His face says something like, I think I just missed something.
Yeah.
You can top deck. There's a Dr. Boom.
Yeah, he has powerful draws. He has... Dr. Boom is a powerful draw. Archmage, not so much, but at least it puts in... Oh, that's an exciting one.
Oh, yeah. It's alright.
That is good. It trades for both the Sorcerer's Apprentices. We're now in an official top deck war with Kolento getting the first one.
And Dog has a Time Rewinder in case he picks up a Drake. It gives himself maybe another card draw later on if that's necessary. Uh-oh.
Very powerful one from, if not just the most powerful one.
Oh my god.
Jesus. If this is a punish if I've ever seen one from Kolento.
But Dog does get his own Shredder.
But he has no burn left. He has used both Frostballs and both Fireballs.
You disbeliever. I believe in the Doomslayer. I have faith.
Oh, that would just be fantastic.
Oh, punished. I think Kolento is getting this game and the match with it if he ends up taking this. If Dog doesn't find a Dr. Boom here, that's it. That's it, I think. Dr. Boom might equalize, but that's it.
Yeah, Dr. Boom is the absolute only draw.
Arcane Blast gives him a little bit more time.
But not much. It's still 7 coming in this turn. Any minion from Kolento really just finishes him off next turn.
Wait, think about that. Archmage, ping face to 7, time rewind the Archmage, get a Fireball, win on the following turn.
Yeah, so Archmage or Boom?
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Couldn't play that faster.
I don't know, I feel like I'm glitched right now.
I think we got a classic spectator bug.
Yep, we have to restart. Come on, you can't deny me this game, Dog. Why did you play so quickly?
This is so exciting.
Spectator mode needs to restart right now, or I think we're missing out.
Okay, well, we can see that time rewinder at least targeting Azure Drake, which means that Dog knows that there's something that he needs to draw into right now.
Yeah.
Which he can draw into from the Azure Drake the next turn.
I think that might be lethal, so 4. No, I think he's a bit off still.
It's 1 off.
Yeah. I don't see anything because, you know, damage is not being accounted for right now, but...
I mean, I guess we'll hear the crowd soon. Either, like...
Oh, come on, you can't deny me this finals. This is unreal.
I'm a bit sad.
Come on, Blizzard.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, 1 off lethal.
Yeah, okay, so we see it from Kolento's side now. We know that the 1 card from Dog is Azure Drake, and then he draws something, which
there's nothing that can win here, unfortunately. It absolutely had to be the Archmage Antonitis last turn, I think, and he time rewinded it for a Fireball. Now it's too late. Whatever he gets, I think, is just a loss.
Yeah.
I mean, he's dead on board, right? A ping will kill him, so he has to...
Yeah, the Azure Drake comes down, the last desperate attempt.
Spell Slinger? Holy Light doesn't change anything. Revenge? No. Yes! What?
Oh my god!
That would have been hilarious.
That cleared him more. And Kolento got the shield block.
Dog had the opportunity to play Spell Slinger first, right? Maybe get a Fireball?
He could play Spell Slinger, get Revenge, play Revenge Ping, then play the second Spell Slinger.
Maybe get something else instead of the Azure Drake.
Trying to count on the mana. Nah, he needed like a 0 mana heal, which I'm pretty sure there exists none except Sacrificial Hack, which would obviously not work. So
he might have gotten. I mean, I think first Spell Slinger before Azure Drake might have worked out better. But either way, Kolento takes it.
Yeah, Kolento takes it. 3-0, really punishing Dog for in that last game where sadly Dog missed lethal, but it's been a real long day. People are exhausted. Actually, Dog was just talking about how tired he is at this point, so I don't blame him. He has played so many matches today, and overall he did great. So.
And he's done, right? Like, he can just go home right now. The last match that we have to see is Kolento versus Stan Sivka. Kolento is now 1-0. Stan Sivka is 0-1. Yeah. If anything, right now, the only thing that could upset a 2-0, 0-2, 1-1 spread is if Stan Sivka wins. If he does win, then there's a chance that we have a 3-way tie, and we're going to resolve this through point calculation. Yeah. So either way, this is going to be the last match.
If Kolento wins, though, that means that Sivka has 2 losses, whereas Dog and Kolento's 1 respective 2 wins.
Yep.
Which means that the Dog and Kolento goes through, so Dog can just go back to the hotel, maybe watch the match on his phone or something, and just really root for Kolento to take home the match against Sivka.
Yep. So Kolento, he had a really rough ride, I think, in this event, and if he actually manages to get back in, that's just awesome.
Yeah, he was off to a 0-2 start, and also in a series that was not looking all that great versus Sivka. So, like, I know that there were people that were counting out Kolento very early on, but now we see him in a great position to actually take, to go through to the semifinals.
He does that a lot. I see him a lot. He just goes down and he's like, you know what? And even through he got through the online stage the same way he was at the bottom of the online stage. And to get here, he had to fight through 4 matches, and he got them all. So, that being said, guys, we'll be taking a short break before the last match of the day, guaranteed last tiebreaker. We will know for sure after this who will move on to the playoffs. Don't go anywhere.